Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Cheaters Can Prosper. I am your host, the Bald Guy, back again to bring you another old school game review to heckle and, of course, get to that all-important ending. Just as a reminder, here at Cheaters Can Prosper, we don't speed run, we don't play fair, and we don't play without cheats. Today we are taking a look at a classic game, Double Dragon 2, The Revenge. Before we dive in, though, just a quick history of Double Dragon. So this is just a summary, mostly sticking to the first two games between Japan and when NES America picked them up. So the game started as a table game in the arcades in Japan. It was a new kind of belt scrolling game because it was a continuous belt scrolling game. So belt scrolling games before were left and right, and that was about it. Double Dragon is left, right, up, down, back, forth. It goes in all kinds of directions. It was also the first successful beat-em-up style game. It was also the third highest ranking table game in Japan in all time. Then, off of the success of the first game, they decided to launch a second game. When the second game launched, NES America said, hey, maybe we should bring this franchise over to the United States, and it was born on the NES. Now, in the first NES Double Dragon game, you play as Billy. Both players, even though it is two players, play as Billy. It's not a co-op game. It's back and forth. One player plays, he dies, second player picks up from the beginning, and they go back and forth just like that. There's a reason for that. So if you want to go back and play the first one, cover your ears because a giant spoiler is coming your way right now. In 3, 2, 1. Here's a spoiler. The spoiler is at the end of the first game, Jimmy is actually the bad guy. That's right. He is working for the Shadow Ninjas to kidnap Billy's girlfriend Mary, and that is sibling rivalry to a whole new level. But the first one did well. They wanted to do a co-op just like Japan had, because in Japan the original Double Dragon arcade game was still also two-player co-op was one of the options. So they said, let's pick that up. We'll put in a NES cartridge. We'll have Billy, we'll have Jimmy teamed up together. We'll have this really dramatic story. In the second Double Dragon in Japan, it was just an unnamed Shadow Ninja. And this one is a very mysterious looking, very magical, supernatural enemy. So that was NES's artistic license for changing enemies and kind of changing stories around. If you play the NES versions, if you play the arcade versions, what you'll also find is the stories kind of the same, but after that the levels are completely disconnected between the different platforms. So that is a very general, abridged history of the games. You can really go down rabbit holes with Double Dragon 1 through 5. You can get into the Battletoads versions as well. So that's a whole nother day and a whole nother video. But for now, come join me and my good friend the Batcave Dad as we play through, review, and heckle ourselves through Double Dragon. Enjoy. Double Dragon 2. The Revenge.
You have to say it that way.
You do have to say it that way. The Revenge.
Oh, this is an epic intro.
Violence ruled the streets of 19XX.
It's like the same kind of drama as like Empire Strikes Back, you know, the scroll, where it's like,
Yeah, we'll call them.
I can imagine James Earl Jones saying that.
Kind of gives me a Escape from New York feelings too.
Yeah.
In a time
For
far
sure.
away.
Snake Plissken?
Yep.
Yeah.
In a not so distant future. So this is our prison colony with ninjas instead of the creeps. Everybody looks so terrified.
Yeah.
Double
Swore
Dragon.
to avenge her death!
Let's go, Double Dragons! So this is kind of an interesting place for your,
Yeah. It almost gives me vibes of like Go-Go Power Rangers or something, but not quite.
It is sort of Japanese in the same sense, though.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, that was the origins.
I mean, like, literally the most distinguishing feature that you can see on these guys is like their afro puff, and they're just their biceps. Like, that's it. Like, the rest of them is sort of just like a mush. They got kind of cankles down there, and they're barefoot, obviously.
Are they barefoot or are they wearing boots?
Right, flesh-colored boots?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to tell.
Well, they're either always on their toes or as high heels. I'm not sure which.
I mean, it is martial arts. They could be barefoot.
I mean, true ninjas would be.
That's true. Of course, I'm also looking at this with the spiked arm pads and all that. I'm getting kind of a Mad Max kind of feel, too.
So, like old school video games, they did not explain where to go as clearly, because clearly, I mean, we haven't played this in a long time.
Right, yeah.
Right? And we were in this little corner for far too long.
Yes. Trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah. I mean, an arrow points up. Like, well, what do you do with that?
Right.
Like, well, you got to figure it out. And
you
then,
jump. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And do a hurricane kick.
Yeah, hurricane kick. That'll solve it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Look at ladder.
Yeah. Now, I remember when I was a kid, like, I thought Super Mario 3 was the first game where you could, like, go backwards.
Yeah.
But I was surprised when we played this, like, oh yeah, you can go backwards. And we had to in a couple different places.
I remember that too, because I remember playing the first Mario, and once you were there, you were there.
Spiky chain lady.
Yep. With pointy hair. And their afros. In every good game, you can pick up a knife and throw it.
It gave a really satisfying clink.
It does give it, yep.
Which, you know, given the fidelity of the graphics on this thing and, like, the sound, like, the pipes would, like, clink really nicely when they dropped. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty good for this time.
It is.
Oh, this dude was so dramatic.
With the welder mask and everything else.
Absolutely.
Pick it by the
it
heads.
sort of reminds me of, like, Juggernaut.
Yep.
But then he dematerializes and comes back. And I'm like, I don't know what that's about.
I don't either.
Is it ninja magic?
It would have to be. I think that's where we're at here is a ninja gang. Get to the chopper! It's a Schwarzenegger moment there. Gotta get to the chopper. Yes, and our pausing and thinking about it first.
Well, I think this is where we're trying to figure out, like, which cheat codes do we want, right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because that is our point here. Because you can see our lives start moving around a little bit so we can have more of them. Not to mention our one-hit knockdowns. Or our one knockdown kills, rather.
Yes.
Which was super handy.
Which made the whole thing go way faster. Yep. Even the parts that I thought, that would have been nice to drag out just a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, it helped us breeze through it.
It did. And chopper. Of course, there's nothing more satisfying for some reason than playing this and grabbing somebody by the hair and kneeing in the face.
100%.
Just bam, right in the head.
You know, there was a cheat code option that said you can knee someone in the face infinitely.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, we were just going for fast. We were going for, like, you know, smooth and fast.
That would have been satisfying, though.
That's true. That's true.
Just every time you knee him in the head. Our running ninjas.
That's a completely unrealistic looking helicopter. It's gotta be Russian.
It could be Japanese still. You're never gonna get away from us! Grasp! We have to put the, I imagine kind of a slapping wet hand sound. But
Yeah.
grasp quite gets that.
Yeah. Slick from all the blood of the minions we
Right.
just spilled.
Blood, sweat, you know, maybe a few tears because your girlfriend got killed.
Yeah.
You know, it's mixed feelings, mixed emotions.
So, these guys look like Frankenstein. Like, you have only a few haircuts in this whole thing.
Yep.
And you've got, like, spiky hair chain lady.
Yep.
You've got the kind of flat top, like, Guile from Street Fighter.
Yep. He comes a little
And
bit.
Frank.
We got Danny, too.
Oh, yeah. This part it's trying to suck us out, right?
Yeah, he's throwing us out the door. Danny Trejo beating our butts.
Danny Trey clone.
Big muscly dude.
But, you know, it was effective in that, like, when he appears on screen, you're like, oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And he was hard.
He was hard.
Of course, with our cheat codes, you know, you knock him down.
No one time, he's done.
He's
Yeah.
done, but,
Yeah.
you know, still, at the same time, he appears on screen, like, ah.
Well, I couldn't imagine trying to get through the helicopter and not getting sucked out the door.
Yeah.
As soon as it opens, it starts dragging you over.
Yeah, I had my kid play Mario 3 the other day with no cheat codes on, and I let him stew in it for like 45 minutes before he was like, I can't get past level 3, it sucks. I'm like, yeah, that's how it was, man. That's why people got perseverance.
That's right. Stick through things, see it to the end.
Now we're like in the bowels of some kind of like techno cyber plaza, but also filled with shirtless ninjas.
Yes. Very large ones.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm blue pants.
Yes, you are.
Oh, that hurts so bad. Oh gosh.
Sure, I don't even know which one's Billy and which one's Jimmy.
I don't know which one's Billy and which one's Jimmy.
Oh, grenades.
Yeah. What were you saying about like the first one? And
So yeah, the first Double Dragon game was an arcade game, but it was one player at a time because it was actually Jimmy that killed Billy's girlfriend. You find it out at the end.
it's like Days of Our Lives style.
It is. That is like sibling rivalry if there ever was such a thing.
This one hurt my heart.
It's one of the few, yeah, that
Yeah,
it's
so
just
you had
terrible.
you had to get the conveyor belt to like jump across, and then like when you got across, you were supposed to like go down and then we realized you can just jump across on the land and avoid the conveyor belts entirely.
Until I was stupid enough to just walk off the edge, even though I was right there.
That's alright.
There's more of that in the air clips. It goes on forever. And now we're going to the Forest of Death. Sounds like an inviting place.
Yeah.
I also learned today that I'm glad we played this on Supreme Mode because it's the only way you can get through all actual 9 levels.
Really?
Yep, any other mode cuts you off at 8, and you don't get the same final boss.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I feel like we didn't really get the full flavor of the final boss because we just knocked him down.
it's true.
But
Knocked him down twice and it was over.
these guys have spike collars on?
Yeah. Some have spike collars, some have spike shoulder pads, more chain chicks.
I feel like this lady's name would be Barbara. Barbara and all her clone Barbaras.
Good Barbara. Is that why she's angry? Because her name is Barbara?
I think she's a barbarian Barbara. I don't know. There's no reasoning behind it.
Gotcha.
There's no filter.
Barbara it is.
And then we have like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yep.
Massive
Rope vines. Maybe we gotta come up with some kind of name for these guys, though.
I don't know.
They ain't Trey Clone again.
Danny Trayclone.
Just picture him with a foot and wings off the cliff.
Is he wearing like a bandana with like the rising sun? It's hard to tell.
It is.
But I feel like it's a Karate Kid sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is an impressive machine.
It is.
I remember jumping across this and be like, I kind of want to see somebody build one of these for real.
Like steam, I don't know, is it a train or a tank?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's a tank. It's just over and it's like the Bradley fighting vehicle. They didn't know what they wanted, so they said, "I'll take it all." It's good.
Yeah, we got steam coming out. We got tracks to run you down.
Mm-hmm.
The Mansion of Terror.
Yeah.
There's evil in the air. I can smell it. It's your brother standing next to you. Oh wait, this is the remake. Never mind.
At this point, the only thing we're smelling is our sweat from killing all those dudes and.
Like I said, their endurance is impeccable too. I mean, they've been through a lot of fighting to get to this point.
Yeah, but they keep dying and coming back, so they come back with fresh energy.
That's a good point. Yeah, when you respawn,
Instant reincarnation. I mean, it's like, whew.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Now, this one, I remember being like, I think this is supposed to be not that hard. But, I mean, so with the cheat codes on, none of the bad guys were hard.
Correct, yeah.
Right? Because we're just kind of mowing through them.
Yep.
Are we dying a lot?
Yes.
Absolutely. But that's what Infinite Lives is all about.
That's right.
You don't have to worry about it. You just die, you move on. And then we hit the floaty platforms.
Yep.
And Doom.
Yes. This was terrible. Terrible. There's no cheat codes for this. This is just all time.
Although we tried.
Although we did. It wasn't for lack of effort.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking for, I mean, you can see the screen kind of flickering a little weird on the frame rate here.
Yeah, here we are,
We're trying to find cheat codes that would, help us get up these platforms because the timing to jump from one to the other has to be perfect.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're done.
Yep. And then here we go. We just skipped the level.
Yeah, we couldn't do it.
So yeah,
couldn't do
skip
it.
the level. We're just done.
Even with all the cheat codes available to us. I mean, we tried the high jump. We tried the what was the knee fist or the
the higher knee lift or whatever it was.
Rising knee or No,
there was nothing that made that
Rising Phoenix.
Yeah. Was it Rising Phoenix?
I don't know.
It sounds cool though. We'll go with that. Cool. Rising Phoenix kick.
Okay.
We were there.
But yeah, like consistently, these kinds of obstacles far harder than any of the bad guys.
Yep.
Super hard.
Yep. That last one, when I went through it, it's like 45 actual minutes that we spent in that room trying to hit the platforms.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was bad. It was not good at all.
You're welcome, viewer. We cut all that business out.
That's right.
All you need to know is it was hard.
It was hard.
And when you play with cheat codes, the hardest thing will be the puzzles.
That's right.
The feats of timing and skill. Because there's no getting around it.
And we could use
unless you cheat, just skip it.
The level skips. The level skips will get you through it. Mm-hmm. But I just appeared on that other side there through the miracle of editing, and so did you. So
awesome. All right.
Welder guy.
I like this guy. It reminds me of Juggernaut from the X-Men.
It does.
Like an early version of Juggernaut. But the fact that he reappears.
Well, because again, doing this without cheat codes and the floor is disappearing behind us.
It's stressful.
It is.
It's stressful.
Got the Gears of Doom here.
Now this reminds me of some Spy Kids stuff. I don't know if you ever saw Spy Kids, like the kids show.
Yeah, the movie I saw.
Oh, it's freaky.
Had like Antonio Banderas in it.
It is like someone dropped acid and then said, "Let's make a kid show," and it gives me nightmares as an adult. But it's all good. But yeah, so we got the spike/icicles.
Yeah.
Are they spikesicles?
Okay. Spikesicles?
Yeah.
I like spikesicles. And I don't even know who's throwing them or where they're coming from, but
I don't know.
You would think for everyone that shot out there, it'd be fewer in the ground, but it just doesn't work that way.
I think consistently on all of these things, you got through the obstacle before I did, though.
Well, if you remember right, I think I was playing and you were taking a chip break, so I think that was what happened.
Yeah, you gotta do the important things, man. You can't slouch.
I feel like we need to name the guys with green pants and shoulder pads Quentin. They feel like a Quentin to me.
Quentin?
They feel like a Quentin to me.
Alright.
I think we skipped this one too, because we were getting hung up.
Yeah, there was definitely some parts here where, there were just puzzles that couldn't be done.
Yeah. Yeah, not walking off the edge. Yeah, we realized you can walk off the edge there.
Yeah. There's no OSHA in Japan. There's no rails.
No handrails, no guards, no warning signs.
No safety. You just die.
Yep.
Which is why they're strong.
It is.
Yeah. They've rid themselves of all the weak ninjas.
It was survival of the fittest.
Yeah. Now, this is the one where it's seriously glitched out, right?
Yes, we get charged by the two ninjas, and no matter what cheat code we turned off, it would always make the game glitch.
Yeah.
And sometimes epic ways. When the screen just went old V-hold TV on us and just...
100%. Yep. Oh, no
Guile.
handrails.
Yep.
No handrails. Dan Trejo. Okay, so is it a headband, or is it just ugly creases in his head?
I think it's just ugly creases in his head. Yep, there's one glitch.
Oh.
That one was bad.
Now these guys, you don't see these guys in any other level.
Yeah.
These little ninja Fabio guys.
Yeah?
They're hard even to see.
Yes, they are.
We kept having to start this over and over and over to try and play with stuff to find something that wouldn't cause it to glitch out.
Yeah, there are more codes.
And we finally found one, which was level skip.
Which was level skip. Yep, there it was.
There it is. Level skip. Oh.
It's impossible. It can't be her.
There always has to be a central love interest for games like these.
I think so.
I mean, rage and love are intricately linked.
They are.
You have to have one to have the other, I think.
Well, no one's gonna go through all this either if it wasn't for love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh look, and there she is, just standing there. I thought you were dead.
Whose girlfriend is this? Do we know?
I think it's Billy's girlfriend.
Billy Red Pants?
I don't know which one's Billy or which one's Jimmy.
We don't know.
Mm-mm. Not a clue.
But they're twins, so she probably doesn't know either.
She's just assuming she knows which one's which.
Well, yeah. Oh, this is the bad guy.
It is, and he
He's the
reminds me
dude.
of something from something. Oh man,
Master of Illusions.
yes,
He looks like the bad guy from Beastmaster, doesn't he?
that's what it is. Yes. Let's go, Billy. It's time to teach him a lesson he'll never forget.
Good pep talk, dude.
Right, go Double Dragons. Oh, knocked him down once.
Yeah, glitched
On the
out.
next spot.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna knock him down once.
And
done.
there we have it.
That's it. We're done.
It was kind of lackluster.
Yeah. That's one where we probably should have turned off the knockdown.
Knockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have left Infinite Lives on and just actually done the battle.
It's alright. And then, like, you get the close-up and he looks like Baraka from...
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a handsome man at all.
No. And soon he will die. And then they'll join him. Because the mysterious warrior has died now.
I just need James Earl Jones to read this. 100%.
Billy and Jimmy felt their revenge was complete. That night, an angel ascended from the heavens and returned Marianne to the Double Dragons, alive and well. It's kind of fair with the twins thing, because didn't return him to Billy or Jimmy, but to the Double Dragons.
That's a little much for me, man.
It is, I think so too.
I mean, sharing is caring, but not in all situations. There we
Very
go.
true. Apparently it's Blue Pants, because there he is and there she is.
I think so. I think Red Pants is just there to be moral support.
I think so. He's the brother. He's trying to be good. But in the first game, he's the one that actually killed her. You don't find out about till later.
I feel like the girlfriend looks like April O'Neil from the Ninja Turtles.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You get kind of a light-haired rogue feeling from her too. I remember the X-Men cartoon in the '90s.
I 100% do. Oh, so fondly.
That was one of my favorites. The
Yeah.
'90s cartoons.
And I gotta tell you, like, there's probably 100 people that worked on this or less,
Yeah.
and bravo.
Right. Well, I wonder if the arcade classic credits are longer, just because this was ported and then kind of sort of changed, so maybe it wasn't as bad.
Well done, Technos Japan Corp.
Kudos.
Y'all have created lasting memories. Fiend.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our commentary, joking, and just enjoying a classic NES game. For all of you that said, hey, Bald Guy, was it really that easy to play through Double Dragon? Or when we cheat, the game glitches? Or cheats don't solve all aspects of gaming? Stay tuned for a blooper reel at 300 times the regular speed that shows just how good we are not and embraces all of those ideas. So for myself, the Bald Guy, and my good friend the Batcave Dad, we want to say thanks again for watching, and until next time, remember, cheaters can prosper. Take care. And here's our fun part. So did you ever watch the movie Clue with Tim Curry?
Oh, yeah.
And so you get to the end of it, and it's like, and this is what happened, and then this is what could have happened, and that was kind of the vibe I felt with this, and it looked great, but here's what really happened.
Oh yeah, this. I mean, it's a little embarrassing because we didn't even try and jump across the land at all. We were just like, clearly the conveyor belts
the way to go.
are the way to go.
Yeah, it was so painful. Just over and over to jump to your death, and then to get one foot on the edge, like, no! And you're dead.
Yeah.
It was hard to...
And I feel like it's going to be a theme of this era of games that the puzzle parts are so hard.
Yeah. Well, not all of them had puzzle parts. Some of them were just kind of run and gun, like your Contras. Some of those were just run and shoot.
Well, but even with Contra, like, back in the day before the cheat codes were available, like, if you could go to school and Brian would be like, dude, I got to level 8.
It's true.
And everybody else was like, oh, I've only been to 5.
Yep.
And it was a big deal. So, kids would just bludgeon their head against these games until you finally, got past it. You finally got that perfect timing.
Yep.
But, this is the bludgeoning your heads part.
Yeah.
It was painful.
I think sometimes, too, with the niceties of gaming, it has made it easier because things are cleaner, they're smoother, controls are more responsive. And when you've got 8-bit, not a lot of pixels in a spot and things just kind of come and go, it's a little harder in general.
Yeah. There's truth in that.
some of the prettiness has made the gaming a little harder. And now we're trying to figure out more codes.
Yeah,
And
I mean, we tried every combination here.
yeah. High jump, rising knee, or the phoenix kick is the phoenix knee. I
think we even tried the one where it would make it go in like slow motion.
Yes.
And it didn't help.
Thinking of our timing, yeah. We were just terrible.
Yeah, just real bad.
It just goes on forever.
Oh, gosh.
I think what? Spikes. And then you respawn, and then we're back. I kind of think that was what you were doing, was checking out cheat codes while I was just trying to get through.
This might have been a chip break, honestly, dude. I don't know.
It could have been.
Chips are an important part of any video game.
They are. Now we're back to full speed.
Yep. We should have gone 500x on this business. It's embarrassing.
It is a little bit embarrassing. It is, but what's bad is people speedrun this game. They are not this bad.
Well, no.
They're a lot better than us.
They have, skill.
It's true.
Yeah.
And we've tried to replace skill with cheat codes. So there's only some places you can do that.
That's alright, though. You know what, though? It allowed us... I don't think I've ever seen the end of this game.
Exactly.
I mean, I played this game over and over as a kid. I don't think we had cheat codes at that time. And I don't think I've ever seen the end.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I knew who the bad guy was.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even show up until...
the very end.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know anything until you get to the double illusion, I think, level 8.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I mean, that's kind of the whole idea, is to the bludgeon where we have to bludgeon, and not so much where we don't have to get to the endings we never saw when we were kids playing. Well, I never beat Contra before.
No.
And we won't talk about Battletoads right now.
Oh, sad.
We may never see the end of that game.
I don't think we will.
I forgot how long we're jumping here even at.
This must have been, you said 45 minutes?
I think altogether, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at 1x speed, everybody.
Yeah.
At 1x speed. We're not making you suffer through that. But it was too long.
Yeah. Went to the regular game, we're at 2, and this is at 3, and it's just... Which is kind of funny to think, some of the times we're just standing there at 3x speed, how long we were actually standing there trying to decide about our life decisions.
Yeah, there's an existential nature to these things. I almost got it!
Yep.
Wait, that was you.
It was me. The red pants, I made it. And that was as far as I ever made it. I could never get back that
Yeah,
way
we only
again.
ever got to the far left platform. I don't think we ever went back and did the one that's closest to the door.
Nope, couldn't make it to the next one. It just keeps... There's no warning when... I mean, I'm sure we could probably sit there and count to see when they disappear and reappear, but still. I'm not good enough to remember where they were still to try and hit that spot.
No, I mean, the game makers clearly timed it to where, like, one disappears right before the other appears.
Yeah.
So if you're not already jumping, you're done.
Yeah. Oh, through that.
Oh,
finally. This wasn't much better. Especially that little conveyor belt with the line. You can't... It's hard to tell which way it was turning for a little bit. At least I couldn't.
Yeah, I could only tell by falling off of it a number of times.
Trial and error.
But that's alright.
Tell you what, if they get rejuvenated every time they die, they should be fresh as a daisy by the time we got through here.
Yeah.
This was rough.
These conveyor belts are tricky. I look at this kind of game though, and I'm like, the level design is impressive for this point in time, because a lot of the elements are reused. All the platforms are the same in this and a lot of things. And they just change the color and rearrange them a little bit. And it feels good.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it color palette change? What's the name for that in like early video games? I'll do some research.
Yeah. Well, they got the availability of more colors, but then they got the availability of when they started adding pixels or your bit count went up, you got more depth.
Right.
Right now we're 8-bit, so there's not a high pixel count. There's not a lot of definition. So it also limits your creativity. It's still got to make it playable in some form. I mean, they had to be really creative with these.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is when we decided we were going to have to skip all the way back through the game again. After the first conundrum of the locking up ninjas.
Mm-hmm. Cheat codes mess with it. It makes the whole thing kind of fritz out for a little bit.
Yep. Especially the level select when it really doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But then we learned to just, save the game and get back to it. Here we go again. Back to the beginning. Force of death.
It's like seeing your life flash before your eyes,
Kind of is.
And we get to like the levels where we spent so much time, we're like, oh no.
Yep.
Double illusion.
All to get back to here.
Yeah, this one hurt a lot because
The ninjas and the glitch.
anytime we spent, when you can find a way through it at the end, you're like, oh, the time spent was worth it. But we spent time on this, and it was.
We're gonna get through it. Walk around the edge, getting no handrails. Got Captain Guile there trying to beat us up.
But look at the cool reflection they did on the floor. Like, that's kind of neat.
It is.
For this era?
Yep. And there we go.
we're frozen.
And back to it.
Yeah.
More cheat code changing.
Trying different cheat codes. I think we ended up turning them all off at one point here.
Yeah.
To try and make it work. And it didn't.
Nope.
Frankie.
Yeah, so we're back to the no more just one hit. No, I think we're still one hit there.
Maybe these guys are just hitting us because we have shirts on and they're jealous.
Maybe these guys don't know what's going on. They said we invaded their base.
Maybe.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Damn, the Trejo's kicking our tail.
Yeah, we turned off that one knockdown kill.
Oh, that's what it was.
To try and get back to the ninjas.
Yeah, he gets up like 4 or 5 times, didn't he?
The only thing we had on here was the infinite lives. And it still does
Oh, yeah, that one was...
That was the V-hold failure.
That was rough.
But, yeah.
All right.
That was the end of our run-through in the pain
The pain.
of Double Dragon.
That's right.